right, guys, let's talk about it. Plenty of contact there on Stuckey, but you're not going to get that call against Dwayne Wade. That's just, we've seen this for what, the last 40 years in the NBA? The superstars get the calls.
Well, that does happen, but it was good. Michael Curry showed some life, I guess. I mean, there's some fire, I guess, in his belly there. I mean, sometimes it seems like it's almost placid. I mean, this is a team that's below 500 that would get wiped out in the first round of the playoffs. They're lucky they're in the Eastern Conference. They wouldn't make the playoffs some years. So, yeah, I'm glad the coach got a little upset at the end in that sense.
You know, it should come as a surprise to nobody, though. I mean, this has been the Pistons' mantra all year. In the last couple minutes of the game, it's almost comical to watch the different ways that they give the game away and we watch another team win it in the waning moments. I mean, that has been the common routine. Was it a foul? Probably. I mean, but as you said, it's Dwayne Wade and Rodney Stuckey. And I know that so many people believe that Rodney Stuckey is the basketball messiah around here, but unfortunately the NBA doesn't believe that, and certainly NBA referees don't believe that.
No, they don't. And you look at where this team is right now. They're sitting 7th in the Eastern Conference. If the playoffs started today, they would take on Boston, although obviously that's a very fluid situation. The strange thing to me is, guys, it doesn't seem to matter which players are out. And I don't know if this is a compliment or it's a negative. It doesn't seem to matter which players are out. They seem to be the same team. Without Iverson, without Sheet, without Rip, they look like the same team.
If you look at the Pistons, it's not some of their parts, it's the way the parts fit together. So that's really not surprising from that standpoint. When Iverson went out, it was addition by subtraction. Earlier, and people forget about this, when Hamilton was out, it was addition by subtraction, and Stuckey and Iverson played well together. So there's a bad mix. And who do you put that on? You got to put it on Joe. And I know he did a lot of things because they want to clear cap space and the expiring contracts and everything. But a season's a terrible thing to waste.
Well, it is, but, I won't go revisionist history on the Iverson thing. I think it was a good move. It will allow them to clear cap space, but your point's well taken. I think one of the interesting things for Joe is going to be, fixing the dynamic of this team so that they play well together. That's the one thing he had when he had those 5 guys running to the championship, getting back to the final round. This team fit together perfectly. It doesn't anymore, Sean. It's a long way.
No, not at all. And I'm one of those people like you, Dan. I like the Iverson deal, but let me add this, and this is where I'll end up on Pat's side here. I didn't feel they were going to win with Chauncey Billups. The East, forget about the NBA title, but the East. And I didn't feel that they were going to win with Allen Iverson, but I was at least a little intrigued. I kind of sat back, I wonder what this team's going to do. But as Pat said, the season's an absolute waste now. I mean, really, what good came out of this season? Can we say, boy, we've developed this guy, and wait till you see what happens next? What was this year?
Well, I think they would say that they think Stuckey has come a long way.
I think he hasn't developed himself as quick as they say.
I agree.
The hope would be that he would be further down the line.
He's a good player, but I mean, I'll say it again. I think a lot of people around here kind of perceive him to be this basketball messiah that he is not yet. Can he be? I don't know.
And the other thing, I don't know how much you put on coaching or Joe's evaluation of talent, but what about the Amir Johnsons? What about players like that people thought were going to be a little bit better as time went on? Some of the younger guys, Jason Maxiell, guys taking little incremental steps forward that would help them win. That really hasn't happened.
No, it hasn't, and there's not been a true evolution of guys on the bench with this team. If there's one thing that just I can't understand about Michael Curry, it's his substitution pattern from night to night. I mean, you'll go a couple of games where Walter Herman will play a big role, then all of a sudden he just disappears and goes somewhere. And it's not just him. There are others. It's just guys on this team don't seem to understand night to night what's expected of them. Back with more in just a minute.